Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dig into a philosophy that's, believe it or not, 2,500 years old, but it offers this amazing framework for understanding our own minds and just navigating the incredible stress of the modern world.
So let's just start with a feeling I think we all know. In a world that's just full of distractions and pressure, where do you even begin to look for some real stability and peace?
Well, what if I told you the answer comes from this ancient teaching, and it's presented less like a religion and more like medicine for your mind? Let's explore how this prescription actually works.
Okay, so the best way to get this is through a really powerful analogy. Think of the Buddha as a physician treating an illness. And just like any good doctor's visit, the approach follows 4 really logical steps.
You know, in his very first sermon, the Buddha laid out these exact 4 steps. We know them today as the 4 Noble Truths. And what they are really is a complete diagnosis and treatment plan for what's ailing us. Let's start at the beginning with the diagnosis itself.
All right, so the first truth is the diagnosis, and it gets right to the heart of the fundamental condition of our existence. It's the one symptom that every single one of us, no exceptions, experiences at some point.
Now this word, dukkha, is so important. And this isn't about being a downer, not at all. It's about being a realist. It's just like a doctor asking, okay, where does it hurt? You have to start by being honest and acknowledging this universal experience.
So dukkha isn't just, some huge tragedy. It's also that subtle background static we all feel, right? That low-level anxiety from endlessly scrolling social media or the constant pressure to be doing more. It's just that feeling that things aren't quite right. So the big question is, what's causing it?
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting. The second noble truth points directly to the source of the illness. But here's the twist. The cause isn't out there in the world. It's inside our own minds.
The teaching says our dissatisfaction, it comes from our own craving, this constant wanting. We want pleasure, we want a certain outcome, or maybe we just desperately want something unpleasant to stop. And that craving, that's what leads to attachment.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? You only lose what you cling to. It's not the people or the things in our lives that are the real source of the pain. It's our grasping onto them, our deep-down refusal to accept that, well, everything changes.
All right, but now for the good news. Seriously, the third noble truth is the prognosis, and it's a really hopeful one. The condition? It's not terminal. There is a cure.
And the logic here is actually pretty simple. If we can get rid of the cause, that constant craving and clinging, then we can get rid of the effect, the suffering. This state of liberation, this true freedom and peace, that's what's known as nirvana. But what is that really?
Yeah, so nirvana isn't some cloudy paradise you go to later. It's a state of being you can realize right here, right now. Think of it as this profound sense of peace that happens when the fires of our most destructive habits, things like greed, anger, delusion, have been totally extinguished.
Okay, so if there's a cure, what's the prescription? How do we actually do it? Well, the fourth noble truth lays out the practical, actionable treatment plan to get us there. And the prescription isn't just a single pill you can take. Nope. It's more like a comprehensive guide for living. It's a really practical 8-part path that's designed to completely reshape our minds and our lives.
So these 8 factors, they're not a checklist you just tick off one by one. Think of them more like interconnected parts of a whole life, all meant to be developed at the same time. They're basically grouped into 3 core areas. First up is wisdom, which is all about seeing the world clearly and having compassionate intentions. Then you've got morality. This guides how we interact with the world, how we speak, how we act, even how we make a living, all to make sure we don't cause harm. And finally, and this is crucial, there's mental development. This is the actual training of the mind through things like mindfulness and learning how to focus. All together, they create this complete framework for a more peaceful, more aware way of being. And this really brings us to a fundamental point in the whole teaching, captured perfectly in this quote. No one saves us but ourselves. We ourselves must walk the path. It's a path of self-reliance, of personal responsibility. The map is there, the prescription is offered, but at the end of the day, you're the one who has to do the walking.
And that really leaves us with a final thought to chew on. This 2,500-year-old framework suggests that the clarity, the peace, the stability that so many of us are searching for, well, maybe it's not found by changing everything around us. Maybe it's found by training and truly understanding our own minds.